As the cat is busy sitting here wondering what the hell is going on with all of the mess that you can see out, we are going to have a video demonstration of file transfer. But not just any file transfer. We are going to be using serial communications to transfer files between all these computers. If I've made a video like this before, I do apologize, but I'm doing it again because I don't remember doing it, and it's better to be safe than sorry than to not ever do something. And I think it's something that's rather cool. So we're going to take a look at a couple different situations here. One where both systems are running Windows 98 or later, I think up to Windows XP, including the HyperTerminal program. One situation with two Windows 3.1 machines, and then a situation where we've got a mix of the two. So to start things off, we can see I've got several cameras set up. This one here, looking at the screen over there, which you can see now. Then I've got another one over here, which is looking at that screen over there. And we're going to do this so I could do this simultaneously. This is quite a big project, as you can probably guess. But what we're going to do is we're going to start off by firing up the machines that I'm going to start with the IntelliStation here and the Dell Optiplex GX110. So start with the IntelliStation. This system has a Pentium II, I think it's a Pentium II 350 installed in it, and oh crap, I'm going to get this brutally wrong. 128 megs of RAM it looks like. And it's got a 10 gigabyte SCSI hard drive installed, running Windows 98. So there we can see the AdaptDec AHA Net 2940 ringing in, which is normal. Here's the hard drive, an IBM DDRS. I think it's 10 gigabytes in size. Here we are, booting into Windows Plus 98. I think while that's going on, so I don't waste any time, I'm going to go ahead and fire up this machine, the Optiplex, which has a Pentium III 1 gigahertz CPU. You can hear the hard drive in it. That's a Quantum Fireball. What is that? Fireball TM? No, sorry, not a TM. It's a Fireball 1280 AT. It might be a 1080 AT, actually. We can see it is also running Windows 98. The hard drive is really loud. You can see over here the IBM is almost completely booted. Here's the monitor. It's now found the monitor. It's a different monitor. I have a mouse hooked up. I don't have a mouse hooked up to the other machine. I probably should do that. Okay. Shouldn't really need it. It's just a plug-and-play monitor. So, upgraded your clock for daylight savings time. Good. And it wants to start the Circ signature capture and all of that. The other machine does not have a mouse hooked up, so I am going to have to go get a mouse for that. Okay, the power button on this machine, as you can probably very easily tell, has got an unfortunate tendency to stick. I wonder if we can get some focus on that. There we go. I'm really not entirely sure why it does that, but it's significantly annoying. That's what it is. So I'll have to go ahead and fix that. I did hook up a mouse now. Give it the slap treatment, that always helps. So now we can see it booting again. I think the cat has lost interest in my little project over here. Scan disk. Go away, scan disk. Nobody needs you. I'm not sure why he doesn't walk on the computer. It's not like it's going to hurt. I think I'm going to have to help the cat down. It's alright. It's okay. Ugh, come on. There's too many cameras in the way, I think. It's not very happy about that. Now it's looking for the default monitor. And it's updated my clock as a result of daylight savings time. Sounds familiar. Oh, this is not going to be very easy to use. That's not right. At all. Okay, that's really annoying. This mouse is not designed for use with the left hand at all. It's supposed to be 10, so we'll change that to 10. This thing does not have a PC speaker sound driver, unfortunately, so there's no audio. Now I think it's time we get all of this set up. Okay, so I've got the serial cable hooked up. You can probably just barely make it out back there. This might get a little hairy because this particular system over here has got 2 serial ports, and I'm not sure which one I hooked it up as. So this is probably going to require some trial and error. I hope I have HyperTerminal on here. Communications, HyperTerminal. Yes, I do. So go in here, we go to HyperTerm. If I close it, what happens? I shouldn't have to enter in that information. It's completely useless. Fine. No. Let's go for test. It's just a test connection for this video. Direct-to-COM 1, I believe, is what we need. We're going to set this up. I believe the maximum that this cable can really support is 57,600 bits per second. 8 data bits, no parity. 1 stop bit, hardware flow control. Should really have parity, though, just to make sure that this goes well. So we'll go for even parity. And now that one's connected. So we'll go over to the other machine. I'll get the mouse. And we'll open up HyperTerminal on this, which hopefully, again, is installed. It should be. It's pretty much one of my more standard pieces. Open up HyperTerminal. It's probably going to want me to fill in the same details. Yeah, it is. Even though I'm not ever going to use it. 6. You need to install a modem. No, I don't need to install a modem. No. We'll give it a name. We'll call it 5. I don't care. Or 4. Sure. Direct-to-COM 1. Same settings. I think it was 57,600. Even parity. One stop bit and hardware flow control. Now is where things get a little different for these machines. On this one over here, I'm going to go ahead and select the send option. Over Z modem, protocol really doesn't matter for this, although it has to be the same between both machines. And we'll go ahead and browse for a file, such as the Hey Macaroni screensaver. Before I click on send on that, I'm going to go over to this machine, and that's not even the correct mouse, and we will click on receive. Place received files. I'll place them on the desktop, or we'll place them in my documents, sure. Z modem with crash recovery. I think, yeah, I'll put it on crash recovery. And then here's where things get really nice. Click on receive, and then click on send, and hopefully everything will just kind of work. Usually that's what happens. It might take it a little bit. Hopefully not too long, because I don't really have that much tape space. Connection timed out. Connection timed out. I probably hooked it into the wrong serial port. Let me do some Testing. Okay, as you can see, I've had to make a slight change to my setup. I'm pointed at a different computer here. That is because I changed to a different machine. The Dell Optiplex GX110 was refusing to connect, and I don't really know why. At first I thought it was actually the IBM, but as it turns out it was the Dell, because I got this thing out, this Toshiba Satellite. What is this? Is this a Satellite Pro? I think it's just a Satellite 1800 S253. So I got it out and tested it, and it still didn't work. So then I changed back to the IntelliStation, and now everything is working perfectly fine. You can see some text on there, so I've now got a bi-directional setup. Okay, excuse me. What I'm going to do, I'm going to do the same process all over again. So once again, we're going to send via Edmodo. Go to the desktop, we'll grab Hey Macaroni, and before we send it, we'll go over here, go to Receive, place it in the following folders. C. I'll go to the desktop. Edmodo with crash recovery should be okay. Receive, send. There we go. Now it's working. It should be pretty much instantaneous, which is what it was. Now, another thing that you're going to notice is how slow this process is. It's going to take about 4 minutes to do this. You're not going to be transferring huge files over serial ports. It just simply doesn't work. Okay, and it's complete, just like that. Almost instantaneous on both machines. So we're going to go over, and something tells me that this did not work right, because I do not have the correct icon here. Oh, it did. Nice. So we can go in and configure it to bring that up. It says large. So we'll go ahead and we'll bring that one up and have a look at it on that machine. Probably wasn't a good idea to set it to large, so it's going to take forever.
My name is Mariana, and I'm a macaroni. People say I'm better than a bowl of fried bologna. They all want me, so tasty, so they boil, strain, and eat me. Rigatoni, fettuccine, Sicilian spaghetti, ravioli, manicotti, shrimp, and tortellini. Macaroni is the best when it's cooked on. Hey, macaroni.
Okay, that's pretty sad. It can't keep up with that. That's bad. Piece of junk. Oh well, that's what you get for a Windows Millennium Edition computer. Okay, I'm going to tear all this crap down and we're going to move on to our next test subject. Okay, we've moved on to our next test subject, which is going to involve this. The HP Vectra 486-66U, as well as this old forgotten friend, the NEC Versa 6030X. Now the NEC Versa 6030X, for those of you who don't know, bases itself on a Pentium 133 CPU. I think it's got 16 megs of RAM installed in it. It's got a 1.4 gig hard drive, and it is running Windows 3.1. The Vectra we should all be familiar with. 486DX266, 16 megs of RAM, 1.6 gig hard drive, Windows 3.1. So again, we've got a situation where we've got identical systems. I have not used this NEC Versa in a long time. And the reason for that is because the machine has got a little bit of a personality. You see, I think that this machine might have a little bit of an aura surrounding it, because at random times it will turn itself on. If I leave it plugged in. If I don't have it plugged in, it obviously won't turn itself on. If it could do that, I would be very frightened. Now let's see if I can actually turn it on. This might take a little bit of doing. Come on. Come on. Piece of junk. There we go. It's definitely not the easiest to turn this machine on. And you can see the chip 65550 ringing in. This thing was heavily used. So while that thing is coming on, I'm going to go ahead and turn on the HP Vectra. So see, come on here. This will not boot automatically into Windows. I've got to start it up manually. And it's got to do its memory count. It's going to take forever. There's that machine started, the Versa. So we'll go ahead and we'll open up the terminal emulator on this and set it up correctly. This mouse is not the best mouse in the world. So terminal. Settings. I believe I want communications. 19200 is as high as this goes. All of that is pretty well standard stuff. COM1, again, pretty standard stuff. And we'll go over to the HP Vectra. Get the keyboard. Type in Win to get into Windows. You're now in Windows. Cool. Now I need to go get the mouse and go into terminal emulator once again. And this time we're going to send from the Vectra to the other machine. Let's see here. Where is terminal? There it is. Select default serial port. Should be COM1. And then we'll go into our communication settings. 19200, everything there should be okay. If I type on this, I should see some text on there, and I do. And so now what we're going to do is we are going to run our transfer. So transfer was send binary file, because of course this is a binary file. Hey macaroni, hey macar.scr. Before I click on OK, because I don't know if it's immediately going to start sending or not, we'll go over to transfers on the other machine and hit receive binary file, and we'll call it the same thing, .scr. Click on return, click on OK, and it should send. Hopefully. It probably won't work. There it goes. And that is once again going to take forever. I think this time I'm going to stop the camera while this is going on, because I want to preserve tape space. Okay, and the file is transferred, so we'll go over here to the machine that we transferred the file to. Open up the file manager. Actually, that is not what we're going to do. We're going to go into the control panel, because I forgot you can't do that in Windows 3.1. We're in the control panel. For some reason we got an ODBC entry in the control panel. I'm not real sure why that happened. Desktop. This might not work because I know there were some retries that it went through. Well, we might stand a chance. I'm going to leave it alone though. Go ahead and test it. Oh, look at that. It is actually going to work. Usually that stuff doesn't work for me. Here is where things get more interesting. This time we are going to be transferring from, I haven't decided which one I'm going to do this from yet. I think I'm going to do it from this machine. We could have a problem here. I think I'm about to run out of tape on one of my cameras, but from the HP Vectra, we're going to go ahead and transfer a file from the Vectra to the IntelliStation. Now with this, we need to watch our protocols. As you can see here, what I've got up is the binary transfer window. You go under settings and you click on binary transfers, and we can see X modem / CRC. We're going to need to make note of this. Go over here, go to our terminal. I think I saved the details. I hope I saved the details, because that's going to be one pain in the rear end to try and hook up. Otherwise, come on. Go ahead and open that. I am going to need to change the details slightly, however, because I need to change the transfer speed, and this thing is not really working too well. Go into Properties, we'll go to Configure. I need to change this to 19200. The other thing that I need to change, I believe, if I go over here to the HP Vectra, and I go into Settings, go to Communications, I need to change the flow control to X on, X off, instead of hardware. And what else do I need to change? 192.600, 19200, 8 data bits, 1 stop bit, no parity, everything else should be okay. Should be good to go. Click on OK, click on OK. That's now going to work. So we're going to go over here, we're going to find a file. I don't know what file it's going to be. Send binary file, I don't know. Send it canyon.mid. And then over on this machine, we'll go ahead and click on receive file. We need to change this to X modem. I don't think it's 1K, I think it's X modem. Just regular X modem. So that is what we're going to do. Windows, oh crap, I don't know where it would be. Desktop, I believe. Receive file. It wants a file name. Canyon.mid. Enter. OK. And now we are going to transfer the file, which hopefully will work. But it probably won't, because my life is a comedy. There it goes. Alright, so that file is now transferred. So we will go ahead here, get rid of that, and we'll open it. And that's going to be loud as hell. I don't know if I can adjust the volume. Yes, I can. Beautiful. Okay, I think we've all heard what that sounds like. So, that is file transfers amongst different types of Windows machines. Thank you for watching. If you have any comments, feel free to leave them down below. And this is CP666 signing off. I hope to see you next time. Yes, I want to disconnect. Till then, guys. Hope you enjoyed it. If you got any questions, leave them below. Hope this was a somewhat informative video, at least. And that's it.